It is Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. We've been watching some areas of heavier rain. Belize, for example, we've had some rain and storms overnight and this morning. I've been tracking that for you. Keep me posted in the comment section. And what we're watching out for next, not only some rain and storms around, but this now just coming off the coast of Africa. This is the tropical wave that is likely to develop this upcoming week into a tropical storm or a hurricane. Early indications are hard to tell where it will go because nothing's even developed. Now, the quicker it develops, the stronger it gets sooner, the more likely it's actually to make that curve. Things that spin a little bit more on a globe, on the earth, are more likely to turn. The weaker it is, at least initially, or the slower it is to develop, the more likely it will be to work off toward the west. So those are a couple of the things we'll be watching out for as we go throughout the week. Now, the American model and the European model do have this area later in the week developing into a hurricane, not necessarily coming at anyone, but developing into a hurricane. The Canadian model and ICON models have this area as a tropical storm. Now, sometimes we also need to watch kind of very long term. Sometimes they can make an initial curve, which would be good for us in the Caribbean, but then high pressure may build back in and then they could swing back toward Bermuda, the US, or the Atlantic region of Canada. So this is way out there. It's a long track system, which means there's a lot of variables with it. It is going to track a very long way across the Atlantic as a whole. So we'll wait and see the next couple days. Then I'll have a good handle on if it is going to make its turn. The European model has this area right in here, those orange shadings, over an 80% chance this develops into a tropical depression, which would be a classified system. So again, American model and European model have this area developing into a tropical storm and then eventually into a hurricane. Now, here's a behind the scenes look at the uncertainty. It's common this is uncertain at this point because it's just moving off the coast of Africa. Here we are in the Caribbean. High pressure is in control, at least temporarily. That's the blocker, right? That's the fence. That allows this area to kind of run underneath this area of high pressure. Can't lift up to the north quite yet because high pressure, the blocker, that is there. And then going out in time here, this is by the time we work our way into the upcoming week, next weekend and early next week. And you see just the uncertainty in this. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's going to get close to the Caribbean or kind of swing to the north. But what I like about a system like this, I don't like any system, right? I don't root for hurricanes on this channel, but I do like the fact that it is so far out there. So as we go over the next few days, we have plenty of time to watch it. Watching Cabo Verde for the chance of some additional flooding. We'll cover that in a moment. We will get some flooding over toward Cabo Verde. That'll be something we'll be watching. Now, the European model, so here we are in the Caribbean, Barbados, back through Antigua, Barbuda, just to kind of orient you. It's this spot here that will be developing. This here is by Tuesday. So by Tuesday into Wednesday, that's when this area is going to start to really spin up. There's the area of high pressure really locked in to the north. So in the short term, this area continues to work its way off toward the west. Looking deeper in time with the European model, about a week from now, this is by the time we get into Friday of the upcoming week. So we're talking solid 5 days away. You can see this area here developing into a tropical storm and then a hurricane. The European model is really latched on to a lot of development out of this. Here's the blocker. You see that area of high pressure right there? That's the blocker, but it starts to weaken. So it's not only where the area of high pressure is, but the strength of it. It starts to weaken and slide off toward the east. So with that may give this a window to kind of work its way back toward the northwest. So high pressure slides to the east, a front works in back toward the west. That would allow this area to initially turn. Now, because it's a long track system, sometimes what happens with these, they may make a turn, which is good for some of us, right? But then down the road, there's so much time to watch this. High pressure may build in again above it and then allow it to kind of swing back toward the west. So point being, there's a lot of time to watch it and so many variables out ahead of it. So that's the European model. Take a look at this. This is the American model and showing a very similar scenario. Here we are in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, back through Trinidad and Tobago, Cabo Verde, especially as we work our way into midweek, Tuesday into Wednesday. That's when we'll get a better chance. Southern Islands, of getting some flooding. And then you see this area just developing further as we work our way into Thursday, a tropical depression or tropical storm at this point. And then like the European model, it does try to kind of wrap this up, make it a little bit stronger into a strong tropical storm or a hurricane, but starting to make that turn. You see it there because high pressure slides off toward the east. So initially, I do believe it is going to make a turn. That would be excellent for us in the Caribbean, but we'll see kind of what happens after this, because this is a week from now. There's going to be some changes. Does it kind of swing back more to the west? Does it weaken? We need to watch out for some of the dust, the dry air out there. And then back behind it, it is going to be active as we work our way into mid to late September. As we know, it is we're getting into the peak of the hurricane season, more tropical waves, and most of the models are latching on to more development out of those. So we're going to have plenty of things to track together, but we'll take it step by step on this channel. Just hopefully nothing gets near land. Now, you can see the winds here with the American model, how quickly it tries to develop. Again, the quicker it develops, the more likely it is to kind of take a turn. So that would be good. I don't want it to develop too much, but that would allow it to make an earlier turn. You see here by the time we get into about a week from now. So this is not today, Sunday, but the following Sunday, this area, tropical storm or a hurricane, at least making that initial turn, and that would be some good news. Then we'll see if it kind of bends back or just kind of stays out to sea, so to speak. But we need to keep an eye on Bermuda, the U.S., Atlantic region of Canada, all of that. So I'm not sure yet the track it will take, but I did want to show you what I'm seeing, the variables in that. So thank you for your patience with this. We've got a long track system. Now, anything that gets close, of course, those water temperatures, they are baking. As we know, it is so very warm in the water. So that would allow, if something gets near the Caribbean or the Gulf or back through the Bahamas, of course, that would mean it would develop or it could strengthen rather quickly. And that's something we'll be watching together. Now, for today, watching out for some of the areas of rain and storms. Belize, I mentioned, we've been watching some together overnight and this morning, and you see some of the heavier rain as we work our way into tomorrow, building back parts of Nicaragua, but Costa Rica and Panama, scattered areas of rain. Now for us, Dominica, hit or miss showers, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Martin, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, but a little more active, Jamaica, Cuba, back through the Bahamas, northern and central Bahamas, and even a few thunderstorms, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, isolated in Puerto Rico, but still active, swinging back toward Florida. I'll show you that in a second with an old front that is around. There's the moisture in Central America. And of course, as we get deeper into the upcoming week, we'll be watching what happens off toward the Atlantic waters as far as development goes. Now, I mentioned those old fronts just hanging around the southeast U.S., the Bahamas, Florida, and we get some moisture that really builds along it. So keep an eye on Bermuda. Some of this will try to clip us by the next few days, watching the Atlantic region of Canada, Newfoundland for that chance of some rain today. As we work our way back toward the plains, parts of the Midwest, some areas of rain and storms, but it's this front still hanging around that'll bring pockets of rain. We had some of that flooding in parts of Texas yesterday, still monitoring that. And you see just in through here how active it does stay. This is by the time we get into Tuesday. Areas of rain, then they kind of build and lift toward the Atlantic region of Canada. So watching out for some of this rain. Also West Virginia, Kentucky, another system working through Ontario and Quebec as we work our way into the week ahead. So the seas, they're going to be a little bit choppier north of the Bahamas. That's where we're seeing more of that activity over toward Bermuda. So watching out for some higher seas, but Gulf relatively quiet as far as the seas are concerned, and back through the Caribbean as we go throughout midweek. Of course, if you have any interest on the water, we always need to be mindful of some lightning with some individual rain and storms around. So there's that extra rain. You see over toward Freeport, we could have some spots over 25 millimeters of rain, over an inch of rain. Watching out for some of the thunderstorms, some of the rain parts of Florida, scattered about Cuba, Jamaica. We're in that hit or miss pattern. Some of us get dumped on. Some of us have been way too dry. Haiti and the DR also watching out for some spots of rain. That could be over 50 millimeters of rain the next few days. Not as much as we work our way back through Tortola, back through St. Croix, for example, St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Bart's, Statia, St. Kitts and Nevis. That's going to be some isolated stuff. We will have passing showers, could still get a thunderstorm, just not as much. Scattered areas of rain to isolated as well. St. Lucia, Barbados South, Grenada, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana a little bit more, and then keep an eye on Venezuela, especially interior sections for some additional rain, but still some heavier totals. Parts of Costa Rica and Panama in particular over toward the Pacific side. where we'll have some totals over 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain. So heads up. And of course, we've already seen some of that rain and storms, the rain and storms back through central and southern Belize, where we could get an additional 2 inches of rain or 50 millimeters of rain. Still scattered areas of rain, isolated flooding, a potential in Texas. Heads up on that. Watching Mexico City back toward the west, a little bit more northwestern sections of Mexico. We're going to get some higher totals, almost that monsoon-like flow that is lifting up toward the north. And then there are the scattered areas of rain as we work our way back toward parts of Florida in through the northern Bahamas. So rain chance about 50% the next few days for us in Jamaica. So some spotty storms. A couple, though, could be on the strong side, isolated as we work our way back through the Cayman Islands. Rain chance, Trinidad and Tobago, 30 to 40% chance over the next few days. And the rain chance as we swing back toward Barbados, again, isolated. So passing shower, but still, we could get a thunderstorm or two. St. Lucia, rain chance 30% today and tomorrow. We'll be at about a 20% chance by Tuesday. 40% chance of rain today, tomorrow, as we work our way back through Grenada. So the rain chance is not too high, but watching out for some showers. 30 to 40% chance. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, passing showers. 20 to 30% chance. You see how it's a little bit lower as we work our way back toward Martinique. Dominica, rain chance 30% the next couple days, lifting up toward Guadeloupe. This is some isolated stuff, right? An isolated chance of a passing shower. Antigua, Barbuda, the rain chance pretty low, 20% chance. But like we had a few days ago, rain chance overall is low, but a storm could pack a punch. 20% chance, St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, and a 20 to 30% chance Anguilla. St. Bart's, 20 to 30% chance. St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. We will watch out for a couple of thunderstorms, though. A little bit of an uptick in that tomorrow, the chance of that tomorrow. Puerto Rico, we're looking at about a 40% chance for tomorrow. And tomorrow, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, rain chance will be up to about 30% for tomorrow. So not too high, but a few around. Watching, of course, the northern and even central Bahamas for that chance of rain. And we could get brushed by a couple of those showers as well. Turks and Caicos, rain chance holding at 30%. 40% chance in the Dominican Republic. Some of the storms could be strong. We could also get some stronger storms back toward Haiti. Isolated showers and storms, but some of those packing a punch. And Belize, of course, that rain chance on the higher side, the more south we are. That's where the higher chance of rain is through at least the first half of today. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, mainly on the dry side. The rain chance not too high. May get a passing shower tonight as we work our way back toward Curacao. Could see about a 30% chance of a shower popping up. Rain chance about 20% as we work our way into tomorrow. 40 to 50% chance in Guyana over the next few days. And the rain chance down some in Suriname. By tomorrow, we're down to about a 30% chance. Rain chance about 40 to 50% as we work our way back toward Cuba. And the rain chance Costa Rica, Panama, that's where it's going to be on the elevated side. We were talking about some of the flooding there. 50% chance as we build back toward Nicaragua. 40% chance the next couple of days in Honduras. Watching closer to Belize too for some of that additional rain. 50 to 60% chance Guatemala and El Salvador. And that rain chance will also give us that risk of watching out for some of the kind of rivers building and watching out for that flood potential as we go over the next few days. Rain chance as we work our way back toward Mexico City, elevated, and then points to the west where we'll see that flood potential. 30 to 40% chance, spotty shower possible across the Yucatan Peninsula. 40 to 50% chance in northern Colombia, and that holds as well, but it builds a little bit in Venezuela as we get into the middle of the weekend. Bermuda, watching out for those fronts. Again, as those fronts press in at times, we'll see that chance of some of those showers that will be around. So tropical storm or hurricane developing out there in the open waters of the Atlantic. Plenty of time to watch it. Long-term track remains uncertain. And then more development. We'll see more development back behind it. The next name on the list is Gabrielle. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.